5 men tied to Chicago street gangs appeared in a music video with machine guns hoisted over their heads. Guns they referred to by the code word pipe and themselves as the pipe lords, according to U.S. investigators.
America, those are federal evidence exhibits. The men in that video named themselves the pipe lords. They use the word pipe as code for illegal machine guns. They had a music video called Switchy, named after the illegal devices at the center of this case, and these dummies posted it publicly. The ATF put the video in the federal grand jury indictment 785 miles from a gun store in Georgia on the streets of Chicago. One gun from that store to a murder scene in 36 days.
Federal authorities say they have stopped a gun pipeline from Georgia to Illinois that they say was the source of many illegal guns on Chicago's streets.
What is up, guys? Tyson DeLaCruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Athens, Georgia, college town, University of Georgia. Not a city that you put a list of places to particularly worry about here. That's the idea. Anthony Edmond, 28 years old, street name Chapo, is the man that the federal court documents put at the top of this pipeline, a member of Chicago's Black Disciples gang, also connected with conservative vice lords. Beginning in 2020, according to the newly filed federal charges in the Middle District of Georgia, Edmond drove to 5 different licensed gun stores in Athens and purchased at least 22 firearms across a 10-month window. Every purchase required signing an ATF form, the Form 4473. That is the federal form required at every legal gun sale in America. You certify who you are and you confirming that you are actually the buyer. Edmond allegedly signed those forms as the buyer. Newsflash, you guys, he was not the buyer. He was acquiring guns for gang leaders in Chicago. That specific crime, you guys, has a name, and it's called a straw buyer. Buying a gun legally and transferring it to somebody who can't legally own one. That is a federal felony, and it has been since 1968. Obviously, Edmond couldn't keep them the same, so they converted the guns. All illegal switched, roughly the size of the weight of a quarter, turns a standard pistol into a semi-automatic, fully automatic weapon. Semi-automatic means 1 bullet per trigger pull. Fully automatic means that the gun keeps firing as long as you have your finger on the trigger, like a military weapon. These switches are banned under the National Firearms Act, the federal law governing machine guns. Owning one without a special license is a federal felony. Selling one is a federal felony. Manufacturing one is also a federal felony. It wouldn't be an urban Chicago case without a music video, you guys. The music video they made and posted is called Switchy. Switchy, they named it after the device. The guns move north 2 ways by car and check-in luggage on commercial flights into O'Hare International Airport, one of the busiest airports in the country. At the point of the checked bag, the purchase looked quote unquote legal. What was waiting for those guns in Chicago was obviously not.
Those men bought machine guns and conversion devices for firearms in Georgia, then falsified required ATF paperwork about the buyer. They coordinated those transfers on social media using code names for the types of weapons. Several of those guns have been linked to violence here in Chicago, including a 2021 shooting on a CTA train and at least 1 murder.
We know how these urban gangsters work, right? They get money and then they want to boast about it on social media platforms, on their TikTok, on their Instagram, on their YouTube. They're like, yo, we finna shoot a music video. Okay, we've been to shoot a music video. They were documenting everything and assuming that the documentation wouldn't reach anybody. But that was the whole point of filming the video, to reach people. The genius of these criminals nowadays, okay? The ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosive, the federal agency that investigates illegal gun trafficking, obviously they were watching. They were watching while they were filming Switchy. One specific gun that connects the whole chain here. In 2021, Chicago police recovered a Glock pistol from a bedroom of a juvenile gang member during a separate investigation. Forensic testing linked that gun to 3 other violent crimes, a murder and 2 additional shootings. When the ATF matched the serial number back to the purchase record, this is what they found. The Glock was purchased at a gun store in Georgia 36 days before it was used in a Chicago murder. Edmond also allegedly test-fired guns before he handed them over, purchased extended magazines and drum magazines designed to hold more ammunition than the standard quality like 8 or 12 clip. He was running product QC, quality control, for machine gun delivery operations.
Anthony Edmonds, seen here holding a Glock pistol that authorities say had been converted into a fully automatic machine gun. The beginning of the gun pipeline here in Athens, Georgia, where beginning in the year 2020, authorities say Edmond fed a 785-mile pipeline to Chicago, where gang leaders were stockpiling weapons.
One ATF agent pulled the serial numbers from Form 4473 and built a 36-day timeline from the store to the murder scene. They didn't need a new law here. The false form was already a crime. The switch was already a crime. The interstate trafficking was already a crime. The music video of these guys, Switchy, Switchy. Okay, the music video just handed investigators the visual exhibit to show to the grand jury. Switchy, switchy that. Before we get into the rest of the indictment, here's what I'm not going to say here, because some of the news outlets and some of the other channels will, and it's absolutely not accurate at the moment. This case will land in gun control debates. The argument here will be to close the loopholes that let this situation actually happen. The problem, there are no loopholes in this indictment. Straw purchases, federal felonies since 1968. Machine gun conversion, which is banned under federal law. False form 4473, federal felony. Interstate drug trafficking, federal felony. Every crime in this particular pipeline was already written into federal law. The honest version of this story isn't about missing laws. It's about enforcing the laws that are already existing, already in place. Those are 2 different conversations, and only one of them is accurate. 4 out of the 5 defendants are in custody. The 5th one, Casantis Reed, 28 years old.
And this 5th suspect, 28-year-old Casantis Reed, is also not in federal custody, but with good reason. The NBC Chicago investigative team has found Reed. He was arrested for shooting an unarmed 16-year-old boy in the head 4 months ago, near this intersection in South Bend, Indiana. Investigators say the killing may have occurred during a drug buy gone bad. Reed is now in local custody here at the St. Joseph County Jail, facing murder charges and being held without bond.
Investigators have not confirmed whether the gun Reed allegedly used in Indiana came through the Athens pipeline that we've been speaking about. That has still to be examined. What is documented? The people running this operation weren't keeping the violence inside the indictment. The pipeline fed something significantly wider. The ATF didn't write a new law. They didn't go to Congress. The straw purchasing felony, the National Firearms Act machine gun ban, the false federal form statute, the interstate trafficking, all of it has been federal code for decades, you guys. The Hughes indictment that enforced the machine gun ban in 1986, 44 years ago. What the Homeland Security Task Force did is work all those statutes together, trace a chain back to where the first crime actually happened, and file a 23-count indictment in the middle of the District of Georgia, not Chicago, Georgia, where Edmond signed those false forms. That, in my opinion, that choice of jurisdiction is deliberate. Filing in Georgia means that the defendants have to answer in the state where this straw purchasing actually occurred. Federal charges, federal sentencing, no local discretion in prosecution. Anthony Edmond and his co-defendant, Rafael Enriquez, a Chicago gang operative with a violent criminal history stretching back for more than a decade, both face maximum sentences of life in federal prison if and when convicted. 3 additional defendants face federal firearms conspiracy charges. And the alleged producer of the music video, Mr. Elijah, 29 years old, is a fugitive. His name is in the indictment as well. Federal investigators know exactly who he is. but he has not been apprehended yet. And here's the part that the gun control debate doesn't reach here, okay? 22 guns linked to crime scenes across 3 states, recovered between 2021 and 2026, a 23-count indictment, 2 defendants facing life sentences, and a fugitive still active. And the illegal switch at the center of this case, the quarter-sized device that converts a handgun into something that fires like a military weapon, has been federally banned since 1986. This wasn't a hole in a law. This was a gap in enforcement, and the pipe lords, they found it.
But hopefully by shutting this pipeline down, hopefully that means less violent crime in Chicago?
You would hope so.
You would hope so. That's an honest answer for somebody who's been covering enough of these cases and seen the pattern over time. The federal takedown closes the specific supply chain here. The demand conditions in the city receiving those guns, that doesn't change. A new supply form, the enforcement win is absolutely real, and it's partial, right? What is not partial is the 23-count indictment, the life sentence exposure, the fugitive whose face is already in the federal evidence file, and the director, Elijah, is still out there. That case is still open. And when Elijah is in custody, I'll be here. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.